victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
Kunis has allegedly moved out of the home she shares with Ashton Kutcher because she is aware of the fact that horrible information about Ashton and Diddy together, as well as video footage of the two of them together, is about to be released.
From being Hollywood's golden couple to facing shocking and unexpected realities, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's relationship has taken a tragic turn. From being widely reported to remaining unchanged, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's relationship has taken a nasty turn. So what specifically went wrong? When Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher first captured hearts on That 70s Show with their connection as Jackie and Kelso, fans hoped that their on-screen romance would come to fruition. That desire came true years later. After they rejoined as adults, their friendship became deeper, leading to a romance that seemed genuine and grounded. After being married in 2015, they became one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. They kept a low profile, bringing their two kids out of the spotlight but yet gaining fans with their love for one another and sensible manner. Whether it was Mila's candid interviews, Ashton's technology pursuits, or their philanthropic activities, they seemed to be a well-suited couple. No matter how perfect things seemed on the surface, cracks were growing behind the scenes. Soon, fans would be left in shock when their idyllic world fell apart because of tense relationships and unspoken realities.
I did a movie called Friends with Benefits, and he did a movie called No Strings Attached.
Yes.
And if we just paid attention to how those movies start, we would know that we can't go into a relationship this way.
Yeah.
And yet we did exactly as both those movies foretold. Like, we literally shook hands. We're gonna have fun because we're both single and young. 3 months later, we're living together. 6 months later, like, married and have a kid. Like, literally, we clearly didn't watch the end of either one of our movies.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher worked hard to portray themselves as a realistic couple. They carefully crafted their public image. Both have spoke about prioritizing their families above Hollywood's expectations. Mila, in particular, temporarily stepped away from high-profile positions to raise their two children, Wyatt and Dimitri. Meanwhile, Ashton's charming entrepreneurial spirit led him to go into online investments and co-found companies such as Sound Ventures and A-Grade Investments. They seem to follow a similar philosophy, keeping things simple and focusing on what matters most. Their humanitarian activities further reinforced this impression, from Ashton's vocal opposition to human trafficking through his business Thorn to their joint support of other charitable initiatives. They conveyed the sense that they were a couple who were genuinely committed to making a difference in the world. Their grounded manners and the fact that they showed joy without resorting to ostentatious displays of wealth were praised by supporters. This honesty made their recent scandals all the more spectacular. The first sign of doom was a controversy that rocked their world and their image. During Danny Masterson's trial on many charges, Ashton and Mila publicly supported their old That 70s Show co-star by writing character letters to the court. Because they presented Masterson as a loyal friend and role model, these letters provoked criticism. Fans and critics couldn't believe it for a pair that had built their name on morality and dependability. This behavior didn't seem typical. Many individuals questioned why they would back someone accused of such horrible crimes. Ashton and Mila sought to clarify their intentions by asserting that their letters were meant to encourage mercy in sentencing, rather than downplay the victim's experiences. However, the damage was already done. Danny's family reached out to us and asked us to compose character letters for him. He has been with us for 25 years. There were other forms of reaction besides social media outrage. Apparently, the problem caused their marriage to deteriorate. Mila allegedly seemed surprised by Ashton's level of loyalty to Masterson, even as Ashton fought the public criticism. The formerly indestructible foundation of their union began to show clear cracks, both professionally and emotionally. But the Masterson controversy was just the start. When Mila learned what she did next, everything would be different. Their already shaky image was further questioned when Ashton's ties to other Hollywood scandals were revealed. Among the most alarming revelations were his alleged connections to Sean Diddy Combs and the parties that have long been reported in the industry. These incidents, which were often linked to unsettling charges, contributed to the unfavorable perception of Hollywood's shadowy underbelly. In a recent interview, Ashton alluded to attending such events. Even if he didn't provide details, his vague comments left room for speculation. People began to question whether his participation in these events contradicted the moral image he had cultivated over the years. It not only damaged Ashton's reputation, but also made her question the version of her husband that she took for granted. The revelations put further strain on their marriage, and they had to cope with a growing divide that was now being publicly acknowledged. What had begun as the perfect love story was rapidly unraveling under the weight of unsaid truths, tense relationships, and a public in dire need of explanation. Mila was forced to reconsider all of her preconceptions about Ashton after this shocking discovery. Mila reportedly found private tapes that revealed Ashton's involvement in Sean Diddy Combs' lifestyle. The party's film on these tapes, which included disturbing and questionable behavior, sparked worries about Ashton's past choices and how they affected his marriage. For Mila, this was more than just another scandal. The treachery was too much to endure. She had fully trusted Ashton, and they had established a life together based on mutual respect and values. The finding of such catastrophic evidence utterly undermined that trust. Insiders say Mila was taken by surprise and struggled to reconcile the man she thought was her acquaintance with the one exposed in those tapes. Mila was severely damaged emotionally. Those close to the couple say she is devastated and overwhelmed by the weight of what she found. This realization caused Mila to have an emotional breakdown and forced her to reevaluate their whole relationship. She made the painful decision that she could not stay in the marriage any longer. For Mila, this was more than just a betrayal. She and Ashton had built a life, and it was falling apart. Their family suffered much as a result of Ashton's activities, but so did they. Mila has never held back when expressing how much she loves their children and how committed she is to creating a safe, nurturing home. She now had the challenging task of protecting Wyatt and Dimitri from the fallout from their father's troubles. Insiders claim that throughout this difficult time, Mila mostly turned to her family and close friends. Despite her best efforts to seem brave in public, she was battling feelings of anger, sorrow, and betrayal in private. Those who know her well say she is devoted to her children and works tirelessly to ensure they feel supported and loved despite the upheaval in their home life. Mila was thrust into a media frenzy as tabloids speculated about the reasons for the separation on a regular basis, including the rumor that Mila was thrust into a media frenzy as tabloids speculated about the reasons for the separation on a regular basis. Despite the tremendous hardship, she remained focused on shielding her kids from the chaos because she was determined not to let the divorce spoil their childhoods. For those who knew the truth, the revelation was inevitable, although being unexpected. Mila and Ashton mutually announced their divorce, ending an era for one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. The brief statement acknowledged their decision to part ways while requesting privacy for their family. The chronology that followed portrayed a highly publicized divorce that was everything from amicable. Despite reports of potential custody fights, both parents are dedicated to prioritizing Wyatt and Dimitri's well-being. Financial repercussions also became a significant worry as the couple's combined net assets had to be properly divided. Let's hear it. After years of stability, the divorce came as a shock since it occurred so quickly. As they tried to comprehend how such an apparently perfect relationship could end so suddenly, fans were left in disbelief. It became clear that the cracks had been there for a while, hidden under the surface until they became inevitable. For Mila and Ashton, the divorce wasn't just the end. It was the result of years of animosity, secrets, and a reality that didn't match their romanticized public image. We spent a lot of time together watching football and soon grew close. When he came over, I told him I was going for a run. As soon as the truth was out, fans began to take sides, and Ashton's reputation took a serious hit. Social media responses varied from outright anger to disbelief. According to one reader, "I always thought Ashton and Mila were the real deal. This just emphasizes how impossible it is to really know what goes on behind closed doors." To add another, "Mila deserves so much more. I respect her for putting her kids first, even if it's sad to see her go through this." "Ashton's wholesome image is officially shattered," said a third person. "How can someone who advocates for moral issues be linked to these kinds of scandals? The epitome of hypocrisy." Numerous loyal fans have expressed their displeasure and chastised Ashton for failing to live up to the naive and personable persona he had cultivated over the years. On social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter, hashtags like Ashton Exposed and Stand With Mila started to trend, indicating a wave of support for Mila as she faced with the fallout. The criticism was not limited to his private life. Ashton's professional endeavors, including his philanthropic work with Thorn, a nonprofit that combats child trafficking, were also overshadowed by the issues. Critics questioned whether someone with such a background could really advocate for such a sensitive and important subject. Even Ashton's investments in the IT industry, which were formerly praised as creative and forward-thinking, came under scrutiny as people looked into every aspect of his public persona. What will happen to Ashton and Mila next, however, now that the dust has settled? Mila seems to be focused on rebuilding her life and prioritizing her children. People close to her claim that she is working tirelessly to provide Wyatt and Dimitri with a safe and nurturing environment in an attempt to shield them from the media frenzy. Finally, there is one poem in the article that gives Wyatt's plight a little more character, an Italian and Latin attribute. She is reportedly also investigating other career choices, which might result in a return to more prominent roles in Hollywood. She is still wary about finding a balance between her responsibilities as a mother and her career, however. But Ashton has a far harder uphill climb. The issues have undoubtedly hurt his reputation, and many people doubt that his Hollywood career will ever completely recover. Although he still has a solid track record in performing in business, the response could limit his opportunities going forward. People speculate about whether he might choose to stay out of the spotlight entirely or attempt to make amends by taking on new projects and apologizing in public. In any event, Ashton's path ahead is far from straightforward. So, do you guys think Mila made the right decision? And will Ashton ever recover from this tempest of scandal? Kindly provide your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on this topic and the most recent Hollywood drama. We hope to see you in the next video and really appreciate your support.